What's up, y'all? This is Henny. And boy, I've been on the go. I've been in the wind, but I'm back for my friends. So listen, today I want to break down the absolute favorite way I love to get started making tracks, collaborating, and doing things on my iPad, with this app called BLOCS. A lot of people don't understand the power of this app. I want to show you the ways that I use it, the way that it helps me collaborate with others, and the way it helps me just get ideas going quick as hell. But more importantly, really break down the ways that you can get ideas done fast. That's really an integral part of being able to be successful, is to get ideas, get them quick, and make things convenient for yourself. That's why I use BLOCS, and that's why we jumping back into this today. Ain't gonna be no more talking, man. We gotta get straight to it. Let's go.
The business.
So first things first, what is BLOCS, right? BLOCS is an amazing app made by Appify that allows you to take loops, ideas, basically any type of loop that you have, you can bring it into this app, right? And you can categorize it by the drum, the bass, the percussion, the vocal, the FX, or the melody. You make sure that you have your tempo locked in. Then you start categorizing all of these loops based on all of these categories, and you just start having fun pushing buttons. It sounds very simple. It sounds very elementary. But if you take the loops that you've created, or you take loops that you found or bought on the internet, and you want to be able to have them synced up in tempo, in key, it really starts to give you a whole lot of creative ideas, just because it randomizes the loops that it's bringing into you. Sometimes it takes away some of the thought process of thinking, oh, what should go with this, or what loop should go with that. And you start to get really creative ideas very quickly. So I'm gonna break this down, show you what I do, how to get the sounds into BLOCS, and then show you exactly how I go from taking an idea, start building it up, and maybe even bringing some more ideas into BLOCS, just through the keyboard or something like that. So we're just gonna go in. I don't know if this is gonna come out good or not, but most likely it is, because BLOCS is amazing, and I really, invested a lot of time putting good loops into this platform. So let's break it down. So I have a new set of loops that I have, taken from the internet and put it into a zip file. So I took the loops, put them in a folder, zipped them up, and put them into AudioShare via AirDrop. I actually did that on my computer. I'll take the loops, I'll unzip the file. Now, as you can see, I have all these new loops, right? It's time to put the phones on. Hold on. Let's get to it for real. So now I have all these loops in AudioShare, and the reason why I put it in AudioShare first is just basically for me being able to have a lot more organization, knowing exactly which loops are which and when I put them in. It's helped me. AudioShare is basically my all-time favorite organization app for all of my audio files. I've said that time and time again. So now that I have that, let me rename this loops 927. All right, boom. So I renamed this loop file loops 927, right? It's a loop file with about 40 items in it, right? So now what I'm going to do is load up BLOCS. If you didn't know, BLOCS is a free app, but if you want to use it the way that I'm using it, to be able to import your own sounds, to be able to slice your own sounds up and do some EQing, you're going to want to do the in-app purchase to get the pro features. So you'll be able to do this the way I'm doing it. And I think the pro features is about $5-6. I don't know. It's worth it. It's worth it. So this is how BLOCS comes up, right? What I'm going to do is go into browser, and I'm going to go to user, and I'm going to go over here to import, and I'm going to import from browse. It'll go to my files app, and in your files app, if you don't see AudioShare, if you're using something like me, like using AudioShare, and you don't see it in your files app, you just hit edit, and this might be untabbed. You just tab that to the right to make sure it's on, so you can see your files that are in AudioShare. So I go to my AudioShare file. I'm going to go to loops. I'm select this by date, and I see the loops that I have. These are all the loops that I'm trying to import. I'm going to say select all and open. Now it's going to bring up this import window, right? It's going to show you all the loops. It's going to ask you what type it is. it's going to ask you what key it's in, what tempo it is, and how many beats it is. So this might be very confusing to you and you're like, I don't know all of that. Trust me, it's not as hard as it is. Most loops are going to be based around 4-bar loop, 8-bar loop, 16-bar loop, 32-bar loop, or 64. Now, if you're listening to loops and they sound like they have a trap bounce to it, it's going to usually be between I would say the tempos of 130 BPM to maybe 160 BPM. If you're listening to like straight hip hop stuff and it kind of gives you that type of bounce, it's usually probably between 80 BPM and 100 BPM. And so all these loops, like you're going to figure out that if I do a 4-bar loop and it shows me that the tempo is, 90, and you know that it kind of has that 90s bounce or something like that, it's basically going to break it down for you, to be honest. So let me show you how I do this. So I'm going to go into this first loop. I'm going to press play. Okay, so it's a melody. You can say what it is. I'm gonna say melody, what beats it is. Let's just see if it's 16 beats. If I say 16 beats, it's gonna give me a tempo of 140, and I know that's about right. So I'll leave it there. Let's keep going. Okay. That's melody, idea, 16 didn't work, let's do 32. 32 gives me 129, I like that tempo. So make sure you change your type. You gotta make sure you change your type from drum to melody. Let's break this down, 32, 64, right on. You got to make sure you feel that bounce and understand what it's making your head do, because that's going to kind of give you an idea of what the tempo is going to be. And what I'll do is go completely down this list and I'll make sure I got the type right and at least the tempo right. Now, I'm not very good with knowing what key it is. And some of y'all know keys and know exactly what key it is. That will make it even doper for you. But I don't know that like that. So I usually holler at my man Cap. He's my engineer. And most likely he's going to give me the key. And that's how we get that going. But let me finish this up. So like this one, I would name this percussion. Doesn't really have full drums going on it. I'll keep going. Okay, so now I finished categorizing all of these loops. And simple, I got the type right that I wanted and the tempo right. And now I'm just gonna hit import these 40 loops. And now if I go all the way down to the browser, in my user section, you're going to see that I've done this a long time. When I tell you, if you start pulling together loops, ideas of any type of vibe that you're trying to go for, and you just put it into this system, the ideas that can come out are insane and insanely fast. Let's keep going. So now that I have everything already locked into the system, I can just start going quick. Whether I'm in a session with artists and songwriters and I'm just trying to get ideas going, or I'm here by myself just trying to get a whole new set of ideas. This is how I get my ideas going quick. I'm gonna start with the drums. Maybe I'm feeling like this today. What I can do is, see, this is the whole loop. You can chop it down by different, like say I only wanted to make it a 2-bar loop. Now it's I can make it louder, I can make it quieter. And I can change the tempo. All right, if I wasn't feeling that, I can just hold this down and hit delete. Keep going. Let's start with a melody. The dope thing about this is just the fact that it's randomizing all the things that you've already brought into it. And sometimes just taking that thought out of your mind and it'll just spark something. Just let it spark you. Just let it give you the vibe that you're going for the day or for that moment. Yeah. Keep going. So I like that vibe, right? So I'm gonna go here to browse. Maybe I want to change this tempo, right? If I go to browse, I go to user and browse, it'll show me what loop that was. And since I didn't put the key information in when I did it, I'm gonna just put it as C. This is just how I do it, but if you know the key, put the key in. Now, I got that idea. I could keep going trying to find a bass or trying to find something, but literally that idea right there, I could stop and go to another one. Or if we're in the session and we're vibing, we'll say, ooh, that's dope. Let me see what else I can put on top of that. So what I'll do is I'll open something like the Moog Model D. I love it for its basses. I love it. It's just amazing, amazing app from Moog. And I'll go in here, I'm gonna go to MIDI, Bluetooth MIDI. And yeah, found it. See if I can scoop this up a little bit. Okay. So what you're seeing right now, one of the other dope things that you can do is sample directly into BLOCS Wave. So let me show you how I do that. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go to audio bus. And so what I want my input to be is what's going in. So I'm gonna use that Model D that I was just playing, Moog Model D. And then I want it to go to BLOCS Wave. Tap to launch, boom. Now you see the arrows lining up. Now it's shooting this app to this app. So if I go back in here and I hit record. So now I have Model D running into BLOCS Wave. And if I can just, I can select the amount of bars. Say I just want it to be a 4-bar loop. It'll loop automatically. So if I hit start, Mess that one up. Let's go. I can make that cleaner. Hit this, hit delete, start again. Right? Simple. I'm just vibing, trying to see if I can get it something going. Let's try it. So maybe make this one an 8-bar loop. Here we go. I'm not done. Here we go. So just like that, vibing out, I was able to add 3 ideas from BLOCS and 3 ideas outside of BLOCS all together. And I can still change the tempo. I can still put the pitch in and change the pitch. Let's make it so if I wanted to make this a little faster. You see how fast I was able to get this idea out from scratch, even doing it with a camera here, a camera there, and the recording device over there. Making sure all of that's done and still being able to get an idea good. Now, after that, you can do multiple different things. You can export just that idea as a WAV file, right? You could say, I want, I don't know, 16 bars of that as a WAV file or AAC file, right? I can export that and go straight to audio share. Boom, it's gonna give me that. That's just the idea loop. Say you just wanted to save it as a loop, cool. Say you're in the studio and you're with the engineer, they got Pro Tools running up front and you're vibing in the back. You say, yo, you want the files, you want the stems, boom. You say, I wanna go here, and you go to project files, you select the waveform, and it'll save it as a zip file. Now, if somebody was up there and they had a Mac or something like that, it'll say their thing, and you can basically airdrop it to the Mac, just like I'm airdropping it over here to my phone. So you see exactly how dope this is to be able to break things down. What I'll do is I'll bring this into BeatMaker as the stems, and I'll chop it up, sequence it, take pieces out, bring other pieces in, and make that into a full track. But I really, encourage you guys out there to really get with other folks, really get with other collaborators to build ideas with whether you have somebody who plays keys or drums or bass or guitar, Maybe you want to plug them in. You know what I'll do also? Got to get my bag here, been on the go. I'll just take something like this. This is my Shure MVI. I'll plug this in while we're using BLOCS Wave. I've recorded the bass guys, the guitar guys, even vocalists straight off this device into it as a loop. Saved it as a loop as we're chopping stuff up, and really got some interesting things. Now, as I'm breaking all this down, I'm letting you guys know that like collaboration is key, building relationships is key, but on top of that, getting ideas out quickly is just as key. And so understand the power of this app and exactly how you can do it. And if you do it over time, I've been using this app for over 2 years now, so my library is insane of ideas, loops, even recorded pieces that I put in, and even a recorded piece like this today that I put in. It might be used on something that, you know, it might be used on something that I do 2 years from now. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. That's BLOCS Wave. That's how I'm using it. And that's how I'm able to get so many ideas so quickly as I'm able to collaborate with others or just working, trying to get ideas out. Hopefully y'all got something from that. Hopefully you did, man. Listen, I really wanted to get back to, you know, all the followers, subscribers who following me because of my musical journey and the things that I do musically. So yeah, I'm glad to be back on this track, and hopefully y'all got something from that, man. You should definitely try that out. And bonus tip, if you don't have an iPad Pro, this whole app is available on your phone the exact same way. BLOCS Wave. You can do everything that I just did from the iPad on your phone as well. So if you really wanted to try to figure out how to get started using iOS, I would start with something like this. You can import all your sounds the same way. Audio share is available on the iPhone as well. And you can do the exact same thing that I just showed you on your phone. And I mean, hey, there's not too much more I can say about that, man. It's a winner chicken dinner. You feel me? I gotta go. I got things I gotta do, man. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hanging out with your boy this week. I'll catch you next week, y'all. Take care. Head out!